The creativity of the writing community on SCP Wiki is seemingly endless, isn't it? My measly 90 summaries of entries is nothing to the over 5,000 unique articles that exist at the current moment. At the end of Series 6, they'll clock in at 6,000, and that's not counting all the SCPs created outside of the boundaries of the official site. Boggles the mind, doesn't it? Well, here's 5 more, my personal number 85 through 90. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're counting down the top 5 scary SCP monsters that can never escape, part 18. Before we get to the list, we have a special message from this video's sponsor, Shudder. That's right, AMC Network's premier horror and thriller streaming service. Shudder is packed to the gills with all sorts of the finest in horror entertainment, with selections that will scratch any provocative, evocative, or dangerous itch you may have. For $5.99 a month or a beautifully inexpensive $56.99 per year, you get access to their outstanding, acclaimed library of films and shows like One Cut of the Dead, Tigers Not Afraid, Revenge, and Creepshow. You can stream ad-free on all your favorite devices, including iOS, Android, Xbox One, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and Google Chromecast. I personally have been a Shudder subscriber for years. I remember streaming Southbound on a crappy TV in my dorm room back in the day. Ah, memories. Lately, I've been loving the Shudder TV streaming channels and tune in from time to time just to see what's new and exciting. Kinda reminds me of channel flipping from the pre-streaming era, if that's your thing. Oh, and all 3 Hell House LLC movies are on there if you want a truly weird trilogy watching experience. You can try Shudder free for 30 days by going to shudder.com and using the promo code TOP5. Heck yeah. Now, let's check out our list. Coming in at number 5, we've got SCP-1879. No matter where you're from, or who you know, or what your favorite fast food joint is, there is one fact that we can all agree upon. Door-to-door salespeople are vampires who should be avoided at all costs. Except for the girl guides. Thin mints get you a pass. Considering that 1879 is a non-cookie-toting salesperson, he's bad news. 1879 is a phenomenon affecting houses in Washington state. It only affects interior doors, which is a terrifying prospect, and you'll see why in a second. If someone comes within 2 meters of an affected door, they will hear knocking coming from it. This knocking will continue until they answer. So this salesperson's already in your house, and you can't use that door until you deal with what's behind it. When you answer it, you'll be accosted by a male humanoid trying to sell you a product. And the product in question is always vastly different and kind of weird. It's not very often that it's something anybody wants or needs. He'll dramatically explain the purpose and appeal of his wares, often while cornering whoever was unfortunate enough to find them in their home. His explanations are not often effective, and his sales pitches usually use underhanded techniques. Once he's explained all he needs to explain, he'll offer a price. But the price never really consists of money. No, it's usually something detrimental to the health of the subject. And if you don't accept and buy right away, he will raise that price. Talk about a hack. 1879 is so persistent that they absolutely refuse to leave you alone until you buy. And sure, you could try to kill him, but he'll just come back later with a vengeance. You might be thinking, well, it can't be that bad, just buy the crap and send him away. Well, you might want to reconsider your purchase depending on the price. One pitch was to sell a red rose, with the price being your heart. When purchased, he takes your entire cardiovascular system. Whoops. For the price of some sugar, sweetie, 220 bananas could be yours. But now all the candied goods in your house are gone, and you're stuck with Donkey Kong's banana stash. Now, one sale was particularly strange. He sold a thermonuclear explosive for the price of his customer's soul, but he only took their Aretha Franklin albums. Coming in at number 4, we've got SCP-1057. Scared of sharks? Who isn't? Those things are dead in the eyes, man. Well, what if you can't even see their eyes? Or any of the shark parts one would expect from a shark. Then you're in trouble, aren't you? 1057 is an animate empty space 5 meters in length in the shape of an adult tiger shark. It doesn't appear to have any mass, but it displaces water around it somehow. Thanks to a refractive index approximately that of air, it's partially visible in salt water, and its anti-shadow is visible under bright light. Foundation researchers have done experiments where they inserted objects into its body and found that truly nothing is actually there. These experiments have really pissed off the shark though. It acts more or less like a normal tiger shark, and anything it eats disappears. Originally, it was captured in a public pool after killing 2 swimmers, mutilating a lifeguard, and causing a panic that ended the lives of 5 more. Man, I used to teach swimming lessons, and let me tell you, some kids are afraid of invisible sharks in the water. I just would have never expected to actually get attacked by one. After the attack, a document was found pinned to the pool's bulletin board. It read, "Panic means that the idea of a shark could be more dangerous than an actual shark. It can even be more dangerous than no shark at all." Are we cool yet? Those damn artists and their pseudo-intellectual shark attacks. Better watch out, better watch your back. Coming in at number 3, we've got SCP-583. While not explicitly dangerous, this SCP would make it impossible to enjoy or understand any media of any type, which is an especially scary prospect for me considering what I do for a living. 583 is a mini DV videotape made of transparent green plastic, also known as it looks super sick. The first 12 seconds of footage on the tape are blank, and then playback of a recording of Sesame Street Live begins. Oh, the horror. And there's no sound in the recording. Around 3 minutes in, an actor starts choking and tries to get out of his costume. He dies, and then 3 more actors do the same. At 3 minutes and 31 seconds, the recording stops and the rest of the tape is blank. Disturbing, right? Well, the anomalous qualities have yet to show themselves. After watching the tape and viewing the first actor die, viewers will suffer from a perception disorder. To them, every character in every piece of media they consume from then on will die in a similar fashion, through asphyxiation. Everyone chokes and dies within a 3-minute time period, and that 3-minute time period is pretty loose too. Short things like jokes will even be hijacked by a quick and anticlimactic death. Wow, so why did the chicken cross the road? Who cares? Halfway across the road it fell over and choked and died. Imagine living like that. My brain would collapse. Coming in at number 2, we've got SCP-3887. Remember having an imaginary friend? Well, sometimes they don't go away. 3887 consists of 2 entities, a young woman and her paranormal pal. We'll call them 3887A and B respectively. A is pretty much just a normal human woman, save for the fact that she has a strong emotional attachment to B. B is a grayish-green, horn-headed, yellow-eyed entity with a rat tail and long arms. She's got male and female genitals and feeds on fear, a la Monsters, Inc. Sunlight causes her skin to blister, and her presence disrupts and damages digital recording devices. Essentially, B is a freaky, fear-eating monster that has somehow befriended her supposed prey. The Foundation first discovered this duo after an incident at a party that left a whole lot of folks in need of amnestics. See, during this party it appears that A's date was humiliating her in front of the guests and acting in a demeaning manner, as was characteristic of their relationship. B did not take kindly to this, and as such manifested under a table and assaulted the date until their limbs were no longer attached to their body. Ouch. This scared the hell out of A and sent her into a state of shock. Following containment, A's fear levels went way down as stresses of daily life seemed to disappear. This caused B to starve to a degree and lash out at Foundation members. Through this, they learned that there are more creatures like B out there, and they're feeding on the fear of children. So I suppose even if B doesn't escape, there's quite a bit to worry about. And lastly, at number 1, we've got SCP-1533. This is a whole collective of entities that do their best to look and act like humans. They manifest at different kinds of social gatherings, from raves to house parties to book clubs. They're not known to organize events that rely on folks already knowing each other, like family reunions or birthdays though. The individuals that make up 1533 have the ability to mimic people they interact with, and these new traits enter a database of sorts which any instance can access. Each instance chooses a personality type and uses the learned behaviors to perform a certain role. Over time, they've become more socially competent and have actually been able to model more persuasive personalities. It appears that there's a natural selection of sorts going on, with good and useful traits sticking around and negative ones being discarded. Through doing this over and over, the group has become very alluring, but dangerous. Beyond just gathering data, 1533 seems to exist just to exercise its power of manipulation on people. By inflicting emotional and physical harm on subjects through the use of charismatic personalities, they seem to compete with one another to see who can emotionally dominate the most event-goers. This could look like challenging a target's self-identity by persuading them to agree with obscene, untenable points of view, or by convincing them to do something embarrassing and then ridiculing them. The more wins they score this way, the more status they seem to have in the 1533 circle. It's a very strange economy, like a big group of mysteriously manifesting con artists who trade in tricking people for fun. I feel like I might have met 1 or 2 of these entities out there. Well, what do you think of the list? Enough variety for you? Are there any SCPs that I've somehow skipped over? What's your favorite lesser known SCP at the moment? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more glassy ones from part 17. Stetton Walters says, has anyone really wondered how the SCP Foundation gets the kind of money and economic connections to do what they do? They spend roughly the same amount of money as what the US Army spends in a year over the span of roughly 5 months. There are a lot of theories about the Foundation's fundraising feats. Some say it's private donors who have the world's best interests at heart, and others say they have an anomalous source of cash. Who knows? Crisp Toast Cat says, I love SCP. They give me nightmares, but it's too awesome. The best things are those that keep you up for 2 reasons. Because they're amazing, you don't want to stop, and they also haunt your dreams. Jackson Blake says, where is Siren Head? Siren Head isn't an SCP, but keep an eye out for a new video about Siren Head soon. Frost Gamer says everybody gangsta until 10,000 voices start laughing. Well, yeah, because at that point you're a successful stand-up comedian. You don't need a trap anymore. Shido Suteshi says, what about the Thamiel class SCPs that were glad are on our side? That would be super interesting. Interesting and fun. Into the ideas binder it goes. And that's all the time we have for today. Before I try to slap chop a ShamWow, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more anomalous entities. Thanks again to Shudder for sponsoring today's video. Remember, you can start your 30-day free trial on Shudder.com with our special code TOP5. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.